Alexander, just like you got George Washington on your coins and Abraham Lincoln and all that. Ain't nothing new. They was doing it back then. All right, now check this out. This
Let me read this verse, or you going to?
Yeah, read that real quick, bro.
I'm going to read this Maccabees again, verse 1. They say, and it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim.
That's the ancient name of Greece. All right, come on.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
The first what?
Over Greece.
First over Greece. Check this out. This is page 40. In this ancient world, Philip, Alexander's father, was assassinated 2 years later. But in spite of this, his Greek dominions remained intact. For when Thebes, Athens, and other Greek cities tried to revolt, Philip's 20-year-old son, Alexander, proved as able as his father. He lost no time in enforcing Macedonian control and carrying on where his father had left off. Alexander now hastened to plan the conquest of the Persians. At a time when the colossal Persian Empire stood astride the near Middle East, this was no mean ambition for so young a ruler. In 334 BC, Alexander led an army of 32,000 infantry and 5,000 cavalry across the Hellespont, a strait, the modern Dardanelles, separating Europe from Asia. Then he marched down the Asia Minor coast. He dramatically defeated the Persian king Darius. And we just read that? He dramatically defeated the Persian king Darius at Issus. Then he began swallowing the provinces of the Persian Empire one by one. In 332, he moved into Egypt, where he founded the city of Alexandria. You know about Alexandria, Egypt. All right. Continuing east, he added Mesopotamia to his conquest before dealing the final blow to the Persians on their home ground. These rapid successes seemed only to whet his appetite. He crushed the Iranians and Bactria in 329, went on to Afghanistan, and at length reached the Indus River. Alexander had envisioned a blending of East and West, encouraging his soldiers to marry foreign women and taking a Persian wife himself. But time was too short for him to consolidate his empire. In 323 BC, he died of a fever in Babylon. The history of Alexander's empire now becomes one of disintegration. He left no real heir, so his generals turned one on another, each trying to be his successor. Finally, the empire was divided. The four strongest generals established four dynasties, and it goes into them. You feel me? So what we just read in there, which is part of the Bible, the Apocrypha, right, is matching up with history. This ain't the Bible, right? But it's matching up with the Bible. It's being historical record.
It's Alexander the Great, right?
Yeah,
We call Alexander the Great. We don't call him great.
I think he was in the history book.
Back
then.
And Titus, you talk about him.
They sound familiar in the history.
But Ptolemy.
Yeah, you heard about Alexander. That's historical. But see, so somebody would tell you the Bible's not historical. That would be false, because why are we reading about an historical character in the Bible if it's not historical?
Right.
But that's the thing, though. See, what they do is they want to show you, they want to give you all the information that goes back to their ancestors, right? And what they done done. And you're looking at them as if they was great conquerors or something like that. But the whole time they was on wickedness, and that's what they was out there promoting. But what our people, our forefathers was on, that was against that. They not even equipping us with the information to know who our ancestors was that was against what they were doing, or even the persecution that we was up against, and even standing on what we was standing on. Like, we was going through persecution in Rome. They had a straight up street with all our brothers like slayed already. But you had to walk through that going through Rome before you got there. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way it was. But it was our brothers that went through persecution. Like some of our brothers, we keep on reading that, you will see what they took to death. Like, they refused to go that way. When they tried to set up that one law, it was certain our brothers refused to do it. So they just took to death. Like, look, we just gonna go ahead and die.
Right.
But before we sit up here and we take this swine's flesh, we put it on the altar, we start eating the things, sacrificing it to the Most High, we gonna die. We'll take
Oh
the
yeah,
death
we
before
look
we
at
do
that
it.
Eleazar.
Yeah, and that second Maccabees 6.
But you said take the death
But
before
he
you
finna-
eat
he
some
finna read that.
He finna read it to you
swine.
before.
He finna read.
Oh, my fault, bro.
So you said before you eat swine, you'll take the death.
Yeah, but that's I mean, I would for sure too, though, but that's what I'm saying. Though. Like, look, go ahead.
Now this is how we get into the fact of when we're dealing with the Bible. God said He saw the beginning from the end. He tell it before it happened. Now, this is a vision that Daniel had of the 4 beasts that was gonna rise, and these beasts were nations. And he gave a description, so when you read the prophecy, you can see that these people matched up with who they was. We're gonna go to Daniel 7, and I'm gonna start at 5. The one before it's just gonna lead into it.
Trip off the prophecy of Alexander. He finna read.
Yep.
Daniel lived 300 years before Alexander was even born.
It's a prophecy. Yeah.
Okay.
He was talking about the different beasts. He said, "Behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side."
Daniel what?
Daniel chapter 7. Let's start at 5.
Let's get there. Remember the 4 kingdoms he saw: Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. That was the 4 kingdoms he saw that would rise and end up running the earth. We still up under Roman dominion right now. Rome killed Christ, Paul, all the disciples, and they're hanging us.
Maritime law.
You know about maritime law too? Huh?
I changed it.
That's a little different. Maritime law different.
I changed it.
You know Obama signed the martial law?
That's martial law, not maritime law. Maritime law is laws of the sea.
Yeah.
Post and all that, you know what
They
I'm
put your name in capital letters.
saying? Yeah. You know about all
You
that.
know about
It's
that.
on all your bills,
Yeah.
on your driver's license.
Social Security
Social
card.
Security.
That ain't you. That's a corporation that he came up with. But that's a whole
Shoot,
time.
they selling your stuff over to I heard a stock company.
Yeah, on the stock market. Your birth certificate is floated on the
That's
stock
how the
market.
national debt is acquired. Through your line.
That got you thinking that you got this debt, you know.
Yeah. No, that's really the money they owe us.
Right.
You want to be real with it. That they talking, they owe you
These
that.
are
That
yours.
they borrowed from many countries, right?
No, these.
Right.
So what we at, y'all? Daniel 7 and 6.
Daniel 7.
Let's
He
start
wants
at verse 5.
I'm gonna show you the prophecy on this beast right here.
Let's look. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. And this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
Like a what?
Like a leopard. Which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Now we all know Alexander the Greek, his kingdom was divided amongst his 4 generals.
Yeah.
So this is talking about the Greeks, and it said he had like the head of a leopard, right? Why this man got a leopard helmet on his head right here?
And then
On
he
his
had,
horn right
and it
here.
say the beast had 4 heads. He had 4 cats.
That's a leopard. He got a leopard helmet on. That's that coin of Alexander the Greek right there. He got a leopard helmet.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
You got that whole spirit.
Right.
So what's this symbolizing then?
It's showing.
It's showing that the Greek,
prophecy.
right after the Persians dropped, the Greeks come up.
The Greeks come up because he had a vision of 4 kingdoms. So he was giving you the description of each one before they even came.
Yeah.
So now you can look at them and look at how he talked about it before he came. And so how he had the leopard.
So that's
He had the
Alexander
leopard
Greek.
as his symbol.
That number 1 coin on there is Alexander the Greek.
And see how that leopard is on.
Yeah.
You got a leopard helmet on. That's crazy, man. Showing you
That's a word.
it show you that the Most High run it all.
The
Man.
leopard got the
Call it down from the beginning.
got the ears and stuff.
Yep. So dealing with the Most High spirit of prophecy, we can hit some of them scriptures too.
Yeah, I'm already at the Revelation 7.
got Hercules.
Second witness. What he got?
Okay.
Second witness.
You know? Is this Hercules at the end?
I don't know if you look at the caption, it's gonna tell you each one. Like number 1 is Alexander, number 2 is something else.
Number 2 is Zeus, and number 3 is Buddha.
Who was for?
Yeah.
Hercules, her or something.
That's probably who that is. Then. Yeah.
So these is Greek.
Those are Greek gods.
All of them.
Hercules, Zeus, those are Greek gods.
God.
Those are the gods.
That's why the clans, the
Yeah, clans of the Titans. See that?
Talk about that Greek guy.
was so rude. What was Zeus? He was evil.
Yeah, Zeus was a
He's the
Greek.
son of a Titan.
Yeah, Zeus is a Greek god that the Greeks worship. A false god.
Hey, I heard something that was it's kind of bad about the Greeks.
What you heard about?
They worship about phallics.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They into a whole bunch of that freaky, creepy what you stuff, though.
That's why we call him Alexander the Freak.
Yeah. Or the Greek.
Or the Creep.
Not the great. You feel me? Yeah, there was a lot of they introduced a lot of that culture.
Especially in Rome. See, European culture has always had that heavy homosexuality. Like right now, they don't talk about it on the news. They'll tell you how quick that blacks have the most counts of AIDS. Europe got way more AIDS than we got at all over here.
Yeah.
See, they don't tell you that. But then they push that agenda over here because that's the doctrine of death. 2 women and 2 men cannot create life. And understand that the Bible tells you that all the plagues that are in this book are not even written, their end shall fall upon you. That's how important it is to get back to our God. Because see, now, this one, again, just studying the culture of Africa as a whole, never was really on that homosexual. That was a taboo that Africa did not even deal with. You know what I'm talking about? Brothers didn't play that. You see, brothers killed you, and that was all areas of Africa over adultery, let alone, boy. Brothers is dying and fighting for their wives. You hear me? What on that boy?
They still hanging
girl,
people today over there if they catch a lie with it.
But see, now with the European culture, understand this is a stem of that culture. Now they pushing it as acceptable. That's what they was having orgies and everything out there in them streets, man. And all them great places. And then again, you know, even their great guy.
That's why Obama passed that law of having gay marriages.
Right, because even who was that president?
Oh,
Who was that? Roosevelt. Wasn't it Roosevelt that said presidents are not elected, they're selected? You hear what I'm talking about? See, let me tell you what happened. They was getting ready. Well, you know, you got an old soul. She got an old soul. But, you know, it's crazy because when we had Bush in the office, you know, Bush didn't even win. He lost the vote, but he won the electoral vote. And that, I was hoping my people woke up, you do not choose. It is the powers that be that choose the presidents. Because he lost by populace. The popular vote he lost. The electoral vote he won. That put him in office. Now, technically, still, he should be brought up on war crimes. He went over there and killed this man. They were about to?
We talking about
the Bush administration?
Yeah, they about to now.
Yeah.
The UN just made a statement and said that persecution for the Bush era crimes are about to start out.
Yeah, they supposed to. They went over there and mass murdered these people for weapons of mass destruction, which has never even been found.
The weapon of the mass destruction is those Jewish artifacts they found.
You see what I'm talking about?
They found them. So if you show those Jewish artifacts, the people wake up. Now we turn back to our God. That's destruction to them, and they know that's the weapon that they talk about.
So the UN is going after them.
We are a part of the UN, so we have to answer to the UN too.
Wait a minute. Before Bush left office, all right, there was a mandate that nobody, all right, in the Bush
Could be persecuted.
could be persecuted.
Yeah, that is in there, but they break all their laws. That's the only reason why it's so hard for them to bring it up now. Right now, I guess the UN either they found some loopholes because for up until now they've been denying wanting to even try because they knew they wrote something up. But there's too many people crying out. There's too many nations that got proof. There's too many things bringing forth to where they forcing the hand of the UN. Now the UN and America are together. So to me personally, it's hearsay. It's the UN giving the world what they want to hear. Do I truly think they gonna do it? No, I don't think they'll kick off World War III before they let that happen. So they gonna give the people what they want to hear and say, yeah, we'll persecute them, and they might even go get some of the crews. That be the other thing.
But they won't get Bush.
You might get the Bushes and people. You ain't gonna get the Gores. You ain't gonna get the main people. They might get some of the people that followed the orders. That was sitting in the office working, declaring they had to get done. All they doing is following orders. So when they do that, people are so dumbfounded they happy with that. They really don't care if the people that orchestrated all they gonna do is hire more people to do their bid. People are just happy that somebody. Yeah, people just happy that anybody get locked up. Hell, they could lock somebody, they could set a person up.
But see, you
And
gotta
say they
understand
part of it
that.
and lock them up, and people gonna still be happy.
And that's what it was about, bro. You just hit it on the head. That was it. Cause see, this is where the Obama agenda. Then when you had the world in such an uproar over what had just happened, right? What do you do to quiet the masses? You have to do something to what they consider as historic. To remove that mindset of what he just did, you got to do something historic. Bring in your first and sell them change.
Yep. Now you can quiet them down for me.
Now you can quiet
They doing
them
too much.
down.
They starting to find out the
You see
Israelites.
that? I told
You
they
got
are
brothers.
wickedly genius.
You got brothers standing on the corner talking about the Hebrews now. Calm them niggas down. Give them a black president.
And
Make
then
them
you
happy. They'll
also
stop
got,
doing it.
you got them going on record. I'm talking about brothers, man, the guy over there